everyone for coming out. It was a great game both ways. There were runs on both sides. Give Stanford a lot of credit. They came out and absolutely got us on our heels, had us totally out of rhythm, and just really took control early. I was proud of our guys for battling back. Open to questions.
Start with Joaquin and then Jim.
Coach, how special is this one for you? First one here as a member of Cal.
It's special. It's special because I have so much respect for Kyle Smith. What he's done here, in a short time is amazing. And so there's obviously we're rivals, and this is an absolute battle. But I went here. I had a lot of friends in the stands. I'm very grateful, extremely grateful for the relationships and time spent here at Stanford. And so it's special. And that being said, I'm so happy and excited to be at Cal. And to be really trying to build something special there, and go Bears.
Mark, it's clear that something different's going on with both programs right now. It's pretty much a full house out here with a loud crowd, Cal and Stanford, and you look at this room here, it's just packed with people. It's very different from what we've seen in the last couple of years. Can you talk a little bit about the excitement that's being generated around both programs?
Yeah, I'll talk about Stanford first. They have a true team. And they just lost one of their key guys about 10 days ago in terms of Akpara. And so they're still playing at a high level without him, and their guys are stepping into different roles. They've found and developed probably a guy that's going to be a first-round pick in the NBA, in a Corey. An unbelievable talent, a guy who has dominant skills on the court. But talking about those two guys, you could go down the whole roster and of just what is being built here at Stanford. And so Stanford has really elevated the level of basketball here on the peninsula, in the Bay, and nationally. And we're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to do the same thing at Cal. I love our team. I love our guys. I could go down the list and talk about each one of our players, but I'm extremely grateful to be able to coach them.
Good Jeff.
Mark, can you talk about what Justin Pippen did defensively? He had a Corey most of the day.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Justin Pippen. For Justin's really gotten himself into phenomenal shape. He rarely looks tired out there. And he guarded the other team's best player. You guys saw the same thing I saw. He's pushing the ball in transition with a speed and a pace that's unbelievable. And so that is great to see by itself. He's making huge plays. And so I thought Justin, really on both sides of the ball, was really strong. We were completely on our heels during that stretch of the first half. Completely off balance. Stanford did such a good job on that. It was Justin that kind of steadied the ship a little bit. And so having a guy like that is huge for our team.
Besides shadowing Corey, talk about what the rest of the defense did to try to help him.
Look, we did our best defensively. We tried to throw different looks at him. Every player is going to have a night where they don't shoot it great. I need to look at the film. I'm not sure exactly. I wouldn't say if it was our defense or anything like that, because when you look at Corey's line, he was still able to draw 14 fouls. Meaning he didn't draw 14 fouls. He got 14 free throws, and so he was knifing down the paint and drawing a lot of fouls. Had 3 assists and only 1 turnover. So the guy is still impacting in a big way.
Joaquin, Steve, Tom.
The game was 60-60 down the stretch. You guys both had your big leads at one point. What do you tell your team at that point to get them to overcome that?
Stanford did a good job of going zone, and they started giving us different looks with their defense. And initially, it totally broke our rhythm again in the second half. And so our guys finally settled in. We just got out of rhythm, out of whack. We had worked on attacking the zone, and then they settled in, and we were able to run some of our stuff, and some guys rose up and made plays.
Sorry, past Thomas.
Mark, but Justin was just in here. He mentioned in the run to end the half that you guys stopped playing stiff. What did you see from your perspective on that run to end the half?
I think sometimes as a player, you want to. We have plays. We also have flow, and sometimes I think players, they're trying to do the right thing. They're trying to run the play, and we tell the guys, hey, if you ever don't like a play, if you don't like a pass, break it off. Break it off. Better to break off a play than get a live ball turnover. And we had a bunch of those we had at least 3 live ball turnovers in the first half. And so I think just the players themselves just did a good job of settling down and playing to their strengths.
And during the week, you mentioned that scrambling would be a key to trying to corral Stanford. What did your personal eye test tell you about how you did?
Early on, we did very poorly. we worked the scramble drill almost every day leading up to the Stanford game. Early on, we were poor at it. Late in the game, we got much better.
Mark, 6.5 years as a head coach. You're down 16 to your rival today, and you come back and win in front of a sellout crowd. Where does today rank in Mark Madsen's head coaching career?
I'm happy for our team. I'm happy for our players. Every game has its own personality. It's nice when you see the guys have that adversity in the first half and be able to fight back and get a win. When you ask the question, I remember Mike Montgomery. There's a specific memory coming to my mind, and it's the Rhode Island game where we were down 14 late in the game. And honestly, as a player, I'll be honest, you kind of think it's over. And Mike Montgomery came to that huddle, and he had so much belief in his eyes. My thought and feeling in that moment, and I will not forget it, is, hey, just keep battling. You never know what can happen. And that's been kind of a lesson for me just for life. Hey, no matter what it looks like, just keep battling. Maybe you win, maybe you don't, but better to go down fighting.
Milos comes in with about 8 minutes left in the middle of that second half Stanford run. What's the message to Milos when he's got to come in and basically close the game out with a lead being sidelined?
Well, I think, you look at Milos, he finished with 6 rebounds, and Milos is a professional. I mean, he had a tough injury over the summer, and he's really had a full recovery. But it took a little while for Milos to regain his rhythm. And so I thought he did a really good job on the glass. Stanford's a very good rebounding team. They have size and strength. And I thought he did a nice job rebounding or keeping his man off the glass so that our guards and wings could rebound.
On 3.
Yeah, Mark, just talk about what you got out of John Camden at 26 points, whatever it was. Just he was hitting his shots from 3 all across the court. Just was there something about Stanford's defense you guys exploited, or just what kind of allowed him to really heat up in this one, you think?
No, look, Stanford's defense is really good. We talked about it all week, and I need to look at the metrics and things like that. But I think that's John being John. John is a great basketball player. John can get his 3-point shot off quickly. John was out there a good portion of the game, 35 minutes, only 1 turnover, and he handled the ball a lot. He had a double-double. It's our first double-double for any player on a team this year. And so the fact that he's also rebounding just shows the type of heart that he has, getting in there and mixing it up with the trees down there.
Morgan, Jeff, and Rafa, Steve.
Coach, Stanford shot 8 more shots than your team, but you guys finished with 41% field goal percentage to their 27%. So how did you focus on physicality while emphasizing this efficiency on offense?
Because we had such a poor start to the game, and you have to give Stanford a lot of credit for they came out with so much energy. I think we just together, the players were saying it, the staff was saying it, hey, settle down, settle in, just play our game. And I think when the guys relaxed, I think those metrics kind of took care of themselves. I'll need to go back and look at the film, but finally when we settled down, we were able to make a few more plays.
Mark, what can you tell us about how serious the injury is to Lee Dort?
I don't know yet. I talked to him about it in the locker room. I think we're going to do some more testing. At this point, we're hopeful, and we're keeping lean our thoughts and prayers. We don't have the information right now.
Last question.
No,
Please,
that was my question.
All right. Anyone else?
All right, Mark, when you guys overcame that 16-point deficit, and right at the 1 minute mark, you guys took the lead for the 8th lead change. So how did your halftime speech change when you guys went into halftime with the lead, when it looked kind of bleak before that?
Yeah, it was super bleak. The halftime speech 100% changed because most of the timeouts were pretty aggressive going after the guys, just telling them, settle down, just play basketball. I thought Justin Pippen did a great job. He had at least 1 3 during that stretch. He was flying around the court. Justin really settled us down, and that was a huge contributor to allowing us to gain a little bit of momentum.
Thanks, everyone.